slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't.
Okay, team, 20-mile long run training, I think, is one of the best things that you can possibly do as a marathon runner if you truly want to get faster in this event, because 20 miles is probably right around the sweet spot, or 32 kilometers is where you really need to be thinking about in terms of branching out and preparing for your races. Okay, if you're training for a marathon, and in the past, maybe your long run has been 16K or 10 miles or maybe 15 miles. Of course, you're still going to get a very strong physiological boost from runs of 10 to 15 miles. But as a marathoner, this is a 26-mile race, 42.2 kilometers. So you have to not only run faster paces, but you also have to learn to run very slow for long periods of time as well. Okay, getting that long run out to 20 miles to even out to around 23 to 24 miles is optimal, and it's really going to help you improve as a marathoner. But my advice in terms of 20-mile long run training is don't do these long runs slow every weekend. Okay, I know a lot of you who watch my videos definitely hear me continually say this, but it's very important. If you want to start making significant drops in time in this particular event, you're going to have to get outside your comfort zone. It's not, I've watched numerous videos on YouTube of world-class Ethiopians, Kenyans, other athletes from Europe and here from America that ran far faster than I ever ran for the marathon. I mean, my PR is 219. These athletes go sub 210, 208, 206 range. And the way they're doing their long runs, I mean, a lot of them are training at altitude, but a lot of them are doing their long runs at around 20 miles, 32 kilometers. Most of the time, here in the States, we always go off the miles and talk about miles, but a lot of the rest of the world talk in kilometers. So a lot of these runners are 32, 35 kilometers, and they're running it over hillier terrain. My advice to you as the marathoner is definitely consider doing some 20-mile long run training over hillier terrain as well. Even if you're training for a flat marathon like Chicago or Rotterdam, running over hills is a form of strength training. You're activating different muscle groups that you're simply not going to activate by running on flat surfaces. Okay, so even if me personally, I mean, just for instance, if I was training for a very fast flat marathon right now, I would be definitely training over a lot of hills. Okay. Again, it's gonna make you dangerous when it comes time for you to start dropping your volume, tapering your training, dropping that intensity, okay? And you start to recover, you start to rest. The hardest part for most athletes, I know it is for me still to this day, is that taper phase, because when you get locked into doing consistent mileage over several months of training and you start to drop your volume and your intensity, you feel like you're getting out of shape, and you're not really getting out of shape. It's just you're allowing your body time to recover and to heal itself into carbo load, because you provide that nutrition and you focus on carbo loading 7 days leading into your marathon. I'm a big believer in a 10-day taper. Okay, if in the past you've done 3-week tapers, consider not continuing to keep your intensity and your volume high up until 10 days from your goal marathon. Make that change. Sometimes it's just some small changes you need to make in your training that will pay enormous dividends in the end. Okay, a lot of times we start dropping volume and intensity 3 weeks out, and we go into the race and we wonder, why on earth do we still feel so flat? When a lot of times it's just you started dropping too soon. Okay, and it's not to say a 3-week taper doesn't work for a lot of athletes, because of course it does. But for marathon training, 20-mile long run training, the key thing is do some varied paced long runs. Okay, do some varied paced 20-mile long runs. Okay, maybe going out, instead of just running 20 miles, if you're say like trying to break the 3-hour marathon, instead of running 20 miles at 7:35 mile pace, try running some of those miles. Okay, again, you're trying to run 6:52 mile pace or 4:16 kilometer pace for the athlete trying to break 3 hours for this example. So you have to start spending some of those miles in that 20 miler at 6:20s to 6:30 pace. Okay, dropping a 6-minute mile in the middle, maybe every fourth mile of that 20-mile long run is what you need to do. Okay, again, it's improve. You need to improve the body's lactate tolerance, teach the body to clear lactic acid more effectively, so that again you're able to sustain that sub 3-hour marathon pace from start to finish, and not just for the first 14 miles of the race. You know, plenty of runners can go out and run under 6:52 mile pace for 14 miles or 15 miles. Okay, but it's another thing to handle that for the full 26.2 miles or 42.2 kilometers. You have to make sure that you're working on your speed. Okay, VO2 max training is absolutely essential, but also make sure that you're running easy as well. Easy running is still very vital for you to run faster as well. Okay, because if you're running too much anaerobic training throughout the week and you're not providing sufficient time for your body to adapt to what you're throwing at it, and you're not slowing down, you're going to feel fatigued, you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to start second guessing yourself and questioning yourself, wondering what the heck's going on. And a lot of times there's many variables to marathon success, but the long run, the 20-mile long run, and getting in the habit of getting to a point where you can build up to that. And then you not only, once you do that, then you have to stay consistent with this, okay? A 16, 20, and preferably 24-week buildup is absolutely vital if you want to run a marathon successfully and you want to run it fast. Okay, now every athlete's different. Some athletes maybe want to run the marathon for the first time. You don't need to be running high mileage if that's your goal. Okay, you don't even necessarily need to be doing specific marathon speed training and doing 20-mile long runs in this case. Okay, not if you're just trying to start and finish a marathon. You can start and finish a marathon on maybe 30 to 40 miles a week, being consistent, okay? But most athletes, especially the majority of the athletes that are watching these videos, a lot of you have specific goal times. Maybe you've already run several marathons. And so you know that it's not just about running easy, long, and slow 20-mile long runs. That's going to help you, okay, improve your time. It's running faster, it's building up, learning to build up more lactic acid, and then being able to handle that pain and that discomfort for a longer period of time. That's going to help you not only maintain your form in the race, but also, you know, improve your confidence going into that race. Okay, make sure you're doing some time trials. Okay, that might mean doing like for the example of the sub 3-hour marathon, or trying to break 3 hours to the marathon. If you can go out there and you can do a 10-mile long run at, say, 6:05 to 6:10 mile pace, that's a good indication. That's a very solid indication that you're going to be able to sustain 26 miles at 6:52 mile pace. Okay, again, big difference between 10 miles and 26.2 miles, but again, you're running 40 seconds or 40 seconds plus faster than goal marathon race pace for 10 miles or 16 kilometers. So again, you want to spend some time doing those types of efforts. Okay, it might mean once per month. It might be doing like a progression run. Maybe it might mean starting off at like 7:10, 7 flat, 6:55, 6:45, 6:35, 6:25, 6:15, 6:05, 5:55. Okay, drastically, dropping 10 seconds every single mile for a longer long run. Okay, might not be a 20-mile long run, but it might be in a 10-miler where you're dropping 10 miles or 10 seconds per mile faster each mile. Okay, if you're trying to break, say, a 2:30 marathon, it might mean starting off at like 6:30, 6:20, 6:10, 6 flat, 5:50, 5:40, 5:30, 5:20, and so on. Okay, but again, you need to always alternate the intensities of your long runs as well. If the long, varied pace long run, especially a 20-mile long run, in terms of 20-mile long run training, always alternate it. Make sure that after a harder 20-mile long run that like I mentioned, like maybe every drop in, if you're trying to break 2:20 for the marathon, okay, it might mean like what I was doing was I would run every fourth mile of my 20-mile long runs under 5 minutes. And then I would get back into like 5:45 to 6-minute pace every fourth mile, drop another 4:55, 4:52 to 4:55 mile every fourth mile of my 20-mile long run when I was trying to break the 220 marathon barrier. Okay. So again, but always the following week, my 20 miler would be like 8-minute mile pace. So I want you to make sure that you're paying attention to jogging on those easy days. Okay. Your benefits are going to happen in the rest cycle, not during the hard workout. Okay. Your body is weakened after you do a track session or a tempo run or a fartlek session on the roads. Okay, so make sure that you're paying attention to that as well. And I promise you, if you pay attention to your nutrition, your sleep, your drinking habits, your hydration, your mental rehearsal, you're visualizing yourself improving, you're visualizing yourself getting stronger, passing runners, achieving the goals that you're aiming for in this sport. If you combine all these together, you do a proper taper, you drop your volume and your intensity at the proper time and not at the improper time, you're going to go into your next race and set a new personal best. I 100% believe this. And there's plenty of resources on RunDreamAchieve.com as well as below these videos that are there for you to consider. Feel free to leave me a comment below if you have any other questions regarding the 20-mile long run training method and some of the tactics that I talked about here in this video. I certainly hope that some of these changes in the way you train will help you set your next personal best in your upcoming marathon. So I wish you guys and gals all the very best in your training, and I'll talk to you all in the next one.